Hello, it's been a long time. And to cut to the chase, lots of things have changed. And I'm excited to finally say that I'm starting a new chapter of my life. That is that mental health issue that I've been facing for the past couple of years has, I finally found a treatment to that for myself. And this is a pretty funny story because after looking for so long, I finally found a treatment, and it was essentially just a week before my first therapy session. Since my last video, I think I got a new job that I am now quitting. And I guess that the physical exercise associated with doing warehouse work didn't really help my, let's call it, anxiety all that much. But essentially I found it to start to get really bad, the anxiety. And so I saw a doctor to get a mental health care plan, so to go see a therapist. And essentially the day that I booked the session, or maybe the day after, I started reading a book called Breath. Now, in hindsight, it's not exactly the best book ever, but it got me onto something very important, and that is breath work. And that week where I found this out, I started consciously breathing a lot of the time, and breathing in this suggested manner, which is 5.5 seconds in, 5.5 seconds out, and through the nose, which is extremely important. And now I've had nasal polyps for a long time, which makes it almost impossible to breathe through my nose. But I've been using the proper drugs that are prescribed for me for that. Well, not prescribed, but is it technically prescribed if it's not a prescription drug? I don't know. I've been using Nasonex and it's helped a lot. And I've also been washing my nose frequently with a nasal flush. And that's helped a lot, and now I can consciously breathe a lot of the time, and which helps to calm me down. And in the first place, I got into this because I noticed that a deep breath would calm me down a lot of the time, and I thought, why not just do that, but all the time, just deep breaths in and out. And so when I saw the therapist, he pretty much confirmed my belief, and he told me that often an anxiety symptom is hyperventilating or shortness of breath, and so that the shortness of breath can lead to anxiety, and anxiety can lead to shortness of breath. So whether I knew this or not, whether the therapist told me this or not, I already found out that breathing has a huge impact on my anxiety, and so the level of anxiety has now diminished to around 10 or 20% of where it was originally. So I'm in a good place now. I also personally did not find my therapy session to be particularly helpful because I was told a lot of the time things that I already knew as a psychology student and someone who studies psychology in my own time. And I was also told to do a beginner's course with a mindfulness app multiple times, even though I told my therapist that I am actually very good already at mindfulness because I like to meditate, and I've been getting into Wim Hof breathing, which is a form of meditation as well. Now, Wim Hof breathing is great, but I found that the most important thing for my mental health right now is just basic breathing exercises. The 5.5 seconds in, 5.5 seconds out. There's pursed lip breathing, which is you breathe in and then you purse your lips like this, and you blow out the air slowly for over 10 or 15 seconds, and it helps you relax a lot. And recently I've also been experimenting with Om meditation, and that's been very calming as well. So things are looking up for me is what I'm saying. And I guess it did take me 2 years or 1 year and 9 months or so to take care of this. But again, things are finally looking up for me, and it's now given me more freedom to pursue different things. I'm very thankful to my good friend Sam, who has helped me find a new job, or referred me, and so I'm no longer going to be a grunt at a warehouse, and I'm going to start working on perhaps more intellectually stimulating jobs, like IT, as I'm starting tomorrow, which is great. And now there is that freedom again, which is also in a way quite dreadful, but that's for later to think about. It means that with this new breath therapy treatment type of thing, that I can now focus, and I can go back to uni next year. Of course, that brings up all types of questions about the dread of freedom and whatnot, but I'm nonetheless happy to say that I finally found a treatment for myself, and that my issue was not exactly psychological per se. It first stemmed from a physiological or nervous system issue that then led to psychological issues, because I'd always be stressed and have this feeling of anxiety, which would make me very easily irritable. Sometimes I could get angry easily, though it didn't happen often. And other times I'd be sad often and have this spilling out of emotions that my the therapist talked about. I forget the name, but nonetheless, now we will see what is to happen in the future. And I've spent some time reflecting, and I'm, I suppose, just ever grateful that I can get back on my feet and have more respect for myself and be more proud of myself as a person, because I now have the health freedom, as in, because I'm more healthy now mentally, I'm able to do more things and thus be more free. And I can continue to pursue things like philosophy, things like psychology, things like poems and art. And maybe I'll start feeling happy sometime, start feeling some sort of joy, because anhedonia was a pretty prevalent issue. Even spending time hanging out with friends didn't make me particularly elevated in mood, I suppose, but I still enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I continued to do that even if I was moderately depressed, as my therapist told me. So here's the thing, I don't think I'll be going back to that therapist, at least, because I felt like they weren't listening to me when I told them multiple times that I don't need a beginner's course in mindfulness. Perhaps, yes, I am not exactly the best at mindfulness ever, but I think I am far beyond a beginner's course. And that's it. I suppose now that I've dealt with some of my own issues, I can, I guess, spread the love, and try and figure out what I want to do in my life and what the meaning of the life is, or what the meaning of life is, and thus what I should do in my life, because these two are very interlinked, right? So yeah, that's it. That's everything, pretty much. Great to be back, I suppose. And if time allows, expect a poem video soon. Though a lot of the time I love my poem when I'm writing it, but then when I go to record it, I suddenly hate it. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully I get something remotely artistic to you in the future. Well, thank you. I guess I'm signing off now.